Unit 1, Task 3 is bolt identification and repair. There are some tools you will need here in orange/yellow and blue. You're going to identify these 6 things about 6 different bolts as practice. And then here's a picture of those 6 things you're looking for. When you think you're ready and you know it, you're going to test each other. You're going to need to be checked off by 2 other students in the class before you come to me to test. Some of the tools you're going to need is a bolt ID stick. You'll need a bolt ID gauge, thread pitch gauges. One is metric, one is standard, and you may or may not need a steel rule. The first thing you need to do is find out if you have a standard or metric bolt. The heads of them will be different. A standard bolt is always going to have lines or nothing on the head. A metric bolt is always going to have a decimal number, so that says 8.8. So I know that the grade of this metric bolt is 8.8. For standard is always the number of lines, and this one has 6, and you always add 2. So this is going to be 6 plus 2, which is 8. So you have a grade 8 bolt. So that's finding out metric or standard and what grade it is. Length is pretty simple. You take your ruler and you just measure the length of the shaft. So you're going to want to measure the threaded part and the non-threaded part. Put it right up on top of there, right up against the head. Do not measure the head with it. You want to keep the head off the edge. And so that one's measuring right about 2 inches. Some of these bolt ID gauges have a tapered kind of edge here. It's not broken. Okay, don't take your bolt and line it up there somewhere there and try to measure it like this. It actually needs to be over to the edge of here. You can kind of put it on top there, but it has to catch that lip. What that angled part is there, bevel part, is for measuring wood screws. They have a tapered head. So that's measuring length. Bolt diameter is going to be these holes here. I need to remember if I have a standard or metric bolt. This one is standard, so I obviously don't want to be on the metric side. I want to be on the standard side, which is going to be in fractions. So then I just put this through here, find out which one fits, and it fits a 1/4 inch. So the diameter of that bolt is 1/4 inch. Thread pitch, you can either use this bolt ID gauge, and it says here that, here to here, this is the United States thread per inch, so that's going to be for a standard bolt, and then here to here is going to be for metric. So all you're going to do is you're going to take your threads of your bolt, and you're going to line it up, and you're going to see which one fits the closest. Kind of hard to do. These get worn out from being thrown around, tossed around, put in drawers. So it's an easy way to do it, not the most efficient way. The other way is to pick up a tool like this, and this is a thread pitch gauge. This one's fractional, there's a metric one. I have a standard bolt, so I'm going to use one of these. These are all going to be in solid numbers. So we have 20, 24, 27, 36, 44. If we open up a metric one, they're all going to be in decimal form. So you're going to have, 1.00. You're going to have 1.25. You're going to have, here's a 2.50, and it says millimeters behind there. So really hard to confuse. This one doesn't say metric on it, but it says mm for millimeters. So they're always going to be in decimal form. So you just take your little teeth here, and you keep fanning them out until you find the correct one that fits. You want it to fit so perfectly that there is no gap in between there. See how there's no gap between the teeth and the tool? That's 20. If I move to, let's say 24 here, you can see there's a gap. You can't get that to fit perfectly down in there. So this is 20. There's going to be 20 threads per inch. On a metric bolt, it's going to tell you how many threads, how many millimeters are between the threads.